let's get to the primetime games here. Bills at Ravens for Sunday night football. Ravens coming off of a big win in Dallas, or as Scott Hansen won't stop calling it, Big D. And then we have the Bills 3-0 team with a fantastic player at quarterback playing very, very well.
Yeah.
What's the matchup that matters here, Carmen?
Again, I don't think there's any question of that being complete BS that Josh Allen was rated the most overrated quarterback because he's top three at the very least, and probably top two, behind the one in Kansas City. So
Correct.
it's Josh Allen in particular is my matchup that matters, but in the red zone or against the Baltimore red zone defense, because I want to, bring this down into a little bit more of a specific
Sure.
matchup here. Josh Allen in the red zone, 8 of 13, 77 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Stud.
Just absolute stud when it matters. And the Ravens have generated a 53.3% pressure rate on third down this season, third highest in the NFL. Again, those obvious passing situations. They're just I'm worried about it. Their red zone defense, 60%, which is tied for 21st in the NFL. Between the red zone, third down, which is where Josh Allen is so good. I'm worried about this Baltimore defense, quite frankly, because Josh Allen has just proven that he can do all the things when it counts.
I mean, you're right. He's my plus factor in this one, and so it'll just be easy to sort of echo you here. You talked about the numbers that he's had. 85 PFF grade, 5th in the NFL, 6 big time throws, 2nd on throws of 10 yards or more, 12 out of 22. 236 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, he's so good. He is so good. I talked with Seth Gillian about this when we were doing the QB showcase in the middle of the week. And Seth said this, and I agree with him. Like, there's nobody playing the quarterback position better right now. There is not. Nobody is playing the quarterback position better than he is right now. And Josh Allen in his current state is he changes the math type of player. And football, we had this conversation again. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's one of the episodes on this channel from earlier this week. Football is a game of math, right? How I can get 3 receivers matched up against 2 defensive backs. How I can get, 6 blockers while you only have 5 guys in the box. Like, it's a game of getting advantages through math. And Josh Allen is somebody where he breaks the math of defensive coordinators go, what else do you want me to do? I put my guys in an advantageous situation, and he just alien throws the ball exactly where it needs to go across his body, going the wrong way, pressured outside of the pocket. And that's just the sort of player that he is. So Josh Allen has to be the plus factor in this one because it's a big game and it's on the road and he's playing at a really high level. My matchup that matters, though, is the Ravens offensive line against the Bills defensive line. Can the Ravens be true to their identity? They were able to do so versus the Cowboys, but as we know, Cowboys have the worst run defense in the NFL. Can you do that against the Buffalo Bills? Because the Ravens offensive line, including a good game against the Cowboys, Tyler Linderbaum, 83.5 overall blocking grade. Ronnie Stanley, 74.0 overall blocking grade. Okay, good. And then we start to drop off. Patrick Mekari, their right tackle, 68.8. Daniel Falele, their right guard, 62.6. Andrew Voorhees, their left guard, 52.6. The Ravens have allowed 24 pressures in pass pro this season. That's the 11th best in the NFL. And when it comes to pass blocking grade, it's a 72.5. So in that category, pass blocking, they're all right. Run blocking, can they be the unit they need to be against the Buffalo Bills? Because the Bills, as a pass rush group, 79.1, that's 5th in the NFL. So we know that's going to be a tough matchup there with those two teams going at it in pass rush. But I think I'm more concerned with just run blocking. And can they be the road graders against the Bills that they were a little bit against the Cowboys when we know the Cowboys weren't a good run defense team? So what about you? What is your plus factor for this one?
My plus factor is on the opposite side because we know how good this Bills rushing offense is. You're going to need Kyle Hamilton to be everything that he's been so far this season. And what's really interesting about how the Ravens are using Kyle Hamilton this year He's been spending a majority of his time down in the box, even lined up as a linebacker at certain times. He kind of plays now this safety linebacker hybrid.
He's
And it's
awesome.
really fun because he's a really fun player. But you're going to need him against this Bills rushing offense, which has just been phenomenal with James Cook and even Ray Davis, who is forcing missed tackles all over the place. It's a two-headed monster that we're not giving enough credence to, I don't think, because James Cook is kind of getting a lot of the shine. And on top of that, you've got Josh Allen doing crazy Josh Allen things, but this is a very well-rounded offense. And James Cook in particular is reflective of that, given the fact that he is a receiving threat and he is a threat on the ground. You are going to need a hybrid type player to deal with guys like that. That is why I think this falls a lot on Kyle Hamilton's shoulders and the really interesting and fun things that the Ravens are doing with him, as far as where his alignments are and just his skill set in general. We know that he likes to hit people, but he's also very rangy. So
Yep.
it's kind of, he's just one of these guys that is just a phenomenal defensive player. And that defense now I think is built around him. And then obviously Nnamdi Madubuike in the up front in the middle, but Kyle Hamilton is going to be used against this Bills run offense, and he's going to be needed.
1000%. Kyle Hamilton is just such an awesome chess piece to watch in this
He
league every
really
single
is.
week. And so, when you have the bigger matchups, it feels like the microscope or the spotlight, I should say, is probably a better way to say it, is on him more because of every way that he can impact the game.